hammer and stake for finishing off the old dude?
If you have 2 prior tickets within the past year, do you know what this means?
What?
This means that this is your 3rd ticket.
Oh, not me, Dewey. I don't want no part of it. Them gangsters are mean. You gonna have to figure your own way out of it.
Tell you young punks something. I've been down on this hood a long time. I've seen a lot of things.
The brother's walking on an aquarium. Say, brother, do you get nosebleeds way up there?
Maybe it's his dinner.
A mirror, and if he's standing behind you and you can't see him in this, it's time for feet to do their thing.
I always talked about my brother was gay, and I remember my father, not a Puerto Rican macho guy, not him accepting that, and I remember him getting physical with my brother because he caught him with his lover.
This acting legend is showing no signs of slowing down. Here to talk about his amazing career and his time with Rihanna is Antonio Fargas. Welcome to Arise.
Oh boy, it's really good to be here.
Yo, was Antonio Fargas just that cool dude we all knew as Huggy Bear?
Hey, 2 hamburger deluxes?
Or was he wrapped up in some wild scandals? The truth is, this legendary actor's life is a wild mix of success, drama, and unforgettable moments that straight up left a mark on Hollywood. From shining bright on the big screen to fighting through his personal struggles, Fargas' story is just as colorful as the iconic character he played. Born on August 14, 1946 in NYC, Fargas grew up in a tough but lively neighborhood. His pops was a butcher and his mom a seamstress, so young Antonio had that hustle and creativity in his blood. Dreaming of the spotlight, he studied drama at City College of New York and later hit up the famous actor studio to perfect his craft.
I found acting when I was 14 in terms of a formal way, but I was doing it ever since to protect myself as a youngster. So 14 was a time where I said, you know what, I think I got exposed. My mother saw an ad in the newspaper, the Amsterdam News in New York, paper out of Harlem, and they were casting a film about gangs in New York. It's called The Cool World, Shirley Clarke movie. And somehow she said, well, why don't you try out for this, man? I appeased my mom, people pleasing, and I said I'd give it a try. And here I am, 59 years later.
Fargas blew up in the 70s during the Blaxploitation era, a time when black actors were finally getting some real shine in Hollywood. He made noise in movies like Shaft.
Hey, man, I don't know no Ben Buford.
20.
Oh, that Ben Buford.
And Foxy Brown.
Look, it's a legitimate business.
But it was his role as Huggy Bear on Starsky and Hutch that put him on the map.
Them gangsters are mean. You gonna have to figure your own way out of it.
Well, yeah, I was splendiferous in this one. You noticed the extra large bow tie. Only a Huggy Bear could carry that off, and I just went along for the ride.
Huggy was that slick informant with a flashy style and quick wit. Behind all that coolness, though, was a real-life pack with highs, lows, and drama that would make any gossip mag explode. Now, let's get into the good stuff. The controversies that kept Fargas on everyone's radar. Fargas often found himself typecast due to his early roles as pimps and streetwise characters. Critics have accused him of perpetuating negative stereotypes about African Americans.
I used to be intimidated by that question, but I don't think anybody ever posed that to Jimmy Cagney or any other artist when they played gangster after gangster, but also brought something special to each role. Yeah. I'm a character actor, and if I was a leading man, you wouldn't ask Denzel Washington, are you tired of playing nice leading guys or whatnot? This is what I do. I'm very proud of the niche that I play and my part in black history in terms of black theater and black film.
He once quipped, "I was a character actor, and it was a typical role for a black actor at the time. It was good for me because it helped my career. But let's be real. How many times can one man play a pimp before it starts to feel like a prison?" Hollywood wasn't exactly rolling out the red carpet for black actors then either.
For the powers that be to show a black as a homosexual rather than a white character as a homosexual. Why? I don't understand that, but I do understand it. Just like it's more easy to us to have the sitcoms and situation comedies on television and not the serious dramas about our lives.
The racism Fargas faced was not just personal, it was systemic. He openly discussed the challenges of being an African American actor during a time when opportunities were limited.
The commitment to character, the commitment to the believability of who I am, who I'm trying to portray. You do a character and you find out, well, where did he go to school? Who hurt him? What were the pains? What were the sorrows? What were the triumphs? And that's the stuff that fuels that's underneath the character. You know, how many masks do I have to wear in order to survive? And that's why I love the characters like pimps and drug addicts and, you know, transvestites and all that stuff, because they were the people who were fighting for survival. And being an African American, we had to fight for survival just because of who we were.
In one interview, he remarked that blaxploitation films were both empowering and damaging. They glorified violence, but also opened doors for us. It's this double-edged sword that left many actors like him grappling with their identities while trying to make it big.
When they came to you with this role to play Huggy Bear in Starsky and Hutch, was that any kind of disrespect for you, or did you embrace it?
No, I was always a character actor. You know, I always did the dirty work. In fact, what got me to Starsky and Hutch was that I did a movie called Across 110th Street with a soundtrack by Bobby Womack.
Word on the street was that there was some tension on the Starsky and Hutch set between Fargas and Paul Michael Glazier, Starsky. Some sources claim that Glazier felt overshadowed by Fargas's vibrant personality and unique style. Imagine being outshined by your own sidekick. However, these tensions seem to dissipate over time as they both recognize each other's contribution on the show.
Every episode was the first day. That's how I survived.
Explain the first day.
Meaning that it was the first time that I had a relationship with these guys, so that, you know, guys would be coming out of prison or coming out of jail and finding Huggy Bear.
It would have been nice if they'd made it a more cumulative thing. Like, I'm going to get killed if you keep asking these questions. You know,
but they kept going to the well every time with the same stuff.
Yeah, you know, it would have been nice if we'd been able to say, you know, to coerce you into things.
Right.
You know,
have to move out of town for a couple of years.
Right, and give you a carrot at the end of a stick, or.
Fame and family life did mix well for Fargas. Behind the scenes, Fargas's personal life has not been without drama. He has been married twice and has a son, Justin Fargas, who played in the NFL for the Oakland Raiders.
Now it's really interesting. Anywhere I go now, instead of me saying, "On to Antonio Fargas from Starsky and Hutch," now it's "On to Justin Fargas's dad."
Well, that's not so bad, is it?
No, it's great to see your name and your heritage passed on to.
Because every time they mention him, most of the time they mention you.
That's cool. You know, I mean, it's a blessing. I told him just bear with it a little while. I think he's going to do more with the name Fargas than I did, and it's just great to see your son doing well in the world.
The pressure of fame took their toll on his relationships. He divorced his first wife after nearly a decade. In interviews, he candidly admitted that balancing family life with stardom was no easy feat. It's hard to be there for your family when you're always chasing the next gig, he said. Fargas didn't shy away from edgy roles. In addition to playing Huggy Bear, Fargas portrayed cross-dressing characters that stirred controversy. His role as Lindy in the 1976 film Car Wash.
Well, praise this car, honey.
Thank you, miss.
Called Car Wash, directed by Michael Schultz, and the writer of the script was Joel Schumacher, and I played the sexy bitch in it. You know, and it was a great time. I mean, I love character work, and my mom says, "Do you sure you want to do that role? You sure you want to do that role?" Now everybody's trying to do homosexual roles to prove how good an actor they are.
Was cut from network television airings due to its provocative nature. This led to debates about representation and acceptance in Hollywood. While some celebrated his bold choices, others criticized him for reinforcing stereotypes.
But that was a really ballsy move for you to do that, especially in that time frame, and especially and have to go back and face the black community.
Well, you see, I think the fact that I'm an actor, that people respect it as a craftsman and a character actor, and just the courage to be able to go there, I think that was applauded by some. Handle it. Some people can't handle it because of their own phobicness.
The 90s hit Fargas hard as he struggled with alcohol and tobacco addictions. He had spoken candidly about these struggles and how they affected his career and personal life. "I hit rock bottom," he confessed in one interview, "but I had to rise from those ashes." His journey toward recovery has been an inspiration for many who face similar demons. In 1994, the Northridge earthquake almost ended in tragedy for Fargas and his wife. While Fargas and his wife were trapped in different parts of their home, each thought the other had perished until Fargas broke down a door to reunite with her. This near tragedy highlighted the fragility of life and relationships. It was a wake-up call that made him reevaluate what truly mattered. Let's talk about those juicy rumors of an affair with Farrah Fawcett. During the filming of Starsky and Hutch, fans couldn't help but notice the undeniable chemistry between Fargas and Fawcett.
He can steal a broad's mind, man, 3 or 4 minutes.
They were like two magnets drawn together, sparking speculation and gossip that had everyone buzzing. While both parties vehemently denied any romantic involvement, you know how it goes in Hollywood. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. In interviews, Fargas has always played coy about his relationship with Fawcett, saying, "We had a great working relationship." But come on, a little flirtation never hurt anyone, right? Fans still speculate about those sultry glances and playful banter on set. Here's a little tea you probably didn't know. Antonio Fargas might have some serious singing chops.
And, I did Snoop Doggy Dogg's video, and I even did the Backstreet Boys video, and Tony. And I'm also working on a 70s persona in terms of my own music, in terms of what I have to give.
You've got an album coming out, haven't you?
I've got an album coming out, and it's talking about an older player talking to the young players and letting them know how to do it and how to do it right, and how to be players.
So how do you do it?
how to be a player.
Word on the street is that he could outsing some of today's pop stars. Yes, you heard that right. Can you imagine? The man known for his iconic role as Huggy Bear could also be belting out tunes like a seasoned diva. While this remains unverified, it adds yet another layer to his enigmatic figure. Fargas has always been known for his charisma and charm on screen, but could he also have a voice that could make you weak in the knees? Some say he has performed in small venues over the years, showcasing a talent that many fans never knew existed. In interviews, he often jokes about how singing wasn't his main gig, but admits to enjoying music. "I love to jam with my friends. It keeps me young." So whether or not he's secretly headlining concerts under a pseudonym remains to be seen. But wouldn't it be fabulous if one day we found out that Huggy Bear could also hit those high notes? You can't talk about Fargas without mentioning his fashion sense, especially his love for hats. Known for his flashy style and sartorial fare, he became a fashion icon in his own right.
Well, about a month. I did a TV show for Europe called LA Heat. It's syndicated here, and I was playing a fashion designer, and I wanted to do something striking for the character.
Well, it's certainly striking.
And so I went blonde, and I've done my roots one time since.
His character, Huggy Bear, was often seen wearing stylish hats and outfits that set trends in the 1970s. In fact, some fans argue that Huggy Bear's wardrobe had more personality than some leading men. Rihanna even referenced him in her song, Better Have My Money.
Name of this piece is called My Better Have My Money.
Y'all should know me well enough. Bitch better have my money.
Highlighting how deeply ingrained Fargas' persona is in pop culture.
The clearness of it is that she found me because just like those other artists found me. There was something that I did in Keenan Ivory Wayne's film, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Yeah, another big hit.
I did that poem, and it resonated with a lot of young artists today, and Rihanna was one of them. And when I heard that the video was happening, or that she was doing the song, I talked to my publicist. I said, you know what, it would be really interesting if I was in that video. So it worked out that I'm not in the video, but Antonio Fargas doing Be Better Have My Money is in the video. So that presence is there, that respect, whose shoulders, she stands on. It's an homage to not only to Keenan Ivory Wayne, but to me and to a life that's been dedicated to, to something that I love.
Fargas himself has expressed pride in being recognized as a fashion icon. Hats are my thing. They make me feel powerful. And who can blame him? With every hat came an air of confidence that few could match. Fargas has always kept it real when it comes to social issues, including his views on homosexuality. He has expressed support for the LGBTQ+ rights and emphasized the importance of acceptance within the community. Growing up with a father who had a strong disdain for homosexuality shaped Fargas' perspective. However, he vowed to be a voice for marginalized communities through his acting.
I always talked about my brother was gay, and I remember my father, not a Puerto Rican macho guy, not him accepting that, and I remember him getting physical with my brother because he caught him with his lover. So those are the things that. So when I had an opportunity to speak for those people, in terms of the roles that I played, I was always trying to channel giving something back, that pain or whatever it was to represent.
In interviews, he has stated it's important to embrace everyone's story. This sentiment resonated deeply within Hollywood circles as more actors began advocating for inclusivity.
Have you? Well, I have to ask you, how do you remain so cool after all these years?
Oh, God.
What's your top tip at being Mr. Cool?
The top tip is to have inner peace, and then if it shows on the outside, you're really doing it.
It's got nothing to do with being absolutely, completely funky.
Well, I think that could help. That can help because I think an essence of cool, to be funky, you've got to be cool. And to be an actor, you have to have an inner calm within you. Even for all the wild characters I play, there's an inner calm inside, which helps support that.
Fargas is still working, but at a much slower pace. He appeared in various TV shows and films over the years. As of now, he is reportedly involved in several independent projects focusing on storytelling from diverse perspectives. His legacy is multifaceted. While he may be remembered primarily as Huggy Bear, a character who brought charm and humor to Starsky and Hutch, his contributions extend beyond that role. He opened doors for future generations of African-American actors and continues to inspire those who face similar challenges in Hollywood. Antonio Fargas' life story is one of resilience amidst scandal and controversy. From navigating typecasting to standing up against racism and embracing fashion as an art form, he remains a fascinating figure in entertainment history.
That I finally realized that it was a spiritual journey and that I always was going to get, and this day was planned before we were born. And when I realized that I don't have to be in control of my life or my career and I let the other powers take care of it, it's been an easier ride, especially, and I know that I'm on the sunset side of my career too. And to have what I have in my life, to be a better father, to be a better actor, all the things that I've always wanted to be and thought I could never attain are possible.
As we reflect on his career, we remember not just the roles he played, but also the barriers he broke down along the way. Whether you loved him as Huggy Bear or followed him through various scandals and controversies, one thing is clear: Antonio Fargas is a name that will resonate for years to come. A true icon whose legacy is anything but ordinary. With each new project or interview that surfaces, we are reminded that behind every character lies a story worth telling. A story filled with laughter, tears, triumphs, and tribulations that makes us all human.